Hi guys, Captain here. We're gonna do a review of Castelvania Episode 2 Netflix TV anime series. Hope you enjoy. We begin where we last left off, where the bartender says, or the bars, the locals, we will call one Jeffrey and the other one we will call Jimmy, because I don't remember their names right now. Anyway, the first one said to his cousin, actually it's his cousin or relative of sorts, he says to him in the bar, I beat the crap out of this guy because he was flirting with my wife or something. And then, they were chit-chatting about kind of stupid things. And then they talk about the Belmont family, and our main protagonist is like, oh shit. Also, Trevor Belmont is drunk as hell. Not even kidding. He's so drunk that he even fights the guys. Then when the guy says, oh, what is that symbol on your chest? And he's like, no, that's an old shirt. That is an old shirt. I want to sleep and carry. He's like, I'm just gonna go then, whatever. I'm just gonna get my cash and go, whatever, bye-bye. And he's like, you're not gonna leave. You're gonna talk. You bring upon it. You were the guy that bring upon it. You bring upon these monsters to us. The monsters are gonna kill us. And which country was it?
Country? Wallachia.
Wallachia. You're gonna bring upon the Wallachian monsters on us. From Dracula. You're gonna bring it upon us. With those monsters. They didn't say Dracula, but, his evil minions that eat babies. I'm just saying, his evil minions that eat babies. Yeah, they're demons. Go figure. That's demon routine for them, I suppose. Anyway, they say, you will not leave, Belmont person. And they talk shit about his family, and that they hate the richest family. Though, to be fair, they have a point. Back in the day, they were, they liked the Belmonts. But now they hate them because they think that they are the cause of everything. But it's not exactly that, because our main protagonist says, come on, I have killed vampires, for Pete's sake. Hope you enjoy, but I've killed vampires, damn it. Do you think I cannot beat the shit out of peasants? And he's still drunk. He's doing the cool kind of Jar Jar thing. Drunken style fighting. Except much better. Except much better though. Except much better. And he fights them and they're like doing cheating things on him. They kick him in the nuts twice. And he's like, oh my private parts. Oh. But he kicks them in the nose. And one of the guys like, oh my nose. Ah. And the other guy's like, oh shit, you damn. Oh, one of the three guys that was in the bar, he was like screaming, oh, the evil monsters are coming to us. They're coming from this other side of the town. Which other town was attacked?
Gracie?
They're coming from Gracie to here, shit. And then they're attacking Belmont and yada yada. And Belmont is like, you don't have your trusty shovel to beat the shit out of me now. And he's like, I don't need to. I can beat the shit out of you with fists. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And then he's like, oh my. Yeah, that was Belmont when he got hit. And then the guy tried to hit it again. He's like, no, not this time, you bastard. He's like, I'm trying to hit you. Uh-oh. He's like, damn you. And then he gets slammed with his. Then he gets the boot of Belmont in his nose. He's like, my nose. And then the other guy's like, I'm gonna save you, brother. And he's like, my face. What did you do with my face? Oh my god, my face. And then the bartender comes in, of course. Of course, it needs to be the bartender. And then the cousin of the... What should we say? The first guy is Jimmy. Or Jimmy, whatever. We call him the first guy Jimmy. The second one is cousin, Jeffrey. The second one, cousin Jeffrey. And the other one is... Mr. Yellow Guy. Mr. Jello Guy, whatever. Mm-hmm. So Jeffrey is basically taking a chair, kick them down. He's like, oh shit. And he's like, oh shit, no. What did Belmont say in that moment when he took when he took the chair? Shit. He said, shit, I am dead. He's like, you know what I think? He thinks in his head. He thinks, why did I drink so much? And why did I have my name? Why did I have this family? I think he's thinking, why did I have my family? And then he's like kicked out of the bar and he's like vomiting and he's saying, I hope you die, you bastards.
Okay.
To be fair, Belmont protected the land and protected the people, but now these three guys are kind of jerks. So they kind of deserve if the demons eat their guts. To be fair, do you think it's deserving of the demon eating them? They're kind of asshole.
What's
To be fair.
happened
After that.
After the fight? Yeah.
After the fight, yeah. We get some Easter eggs to the other towns on a billboard. On a type of billboard thing where you see the other towns. And the demon are currently heading where the main protagonist is going. He's going to that side. Here's the south, or the left side here. Left. And the demons are going that direction. The demons are going this, that way. And Belmont is going this way. And then Belmont wakes up in the forest, sleeps a bit, wakes up, and we see a little particular... Oh, I forgot to mention. Yeah, we see a little particular white and beautiful flower. Perfect. Anyway, we see a particular beautiful flower that we saw in the first episode by Mrs. Old Lady. Isn't it?
Yeah.
The same flower. And then he hears about the new town, which is the town that I mentioned in the last video, which I forgot.
Gresit.
Aggressive.
Gresit. Okay.
What should we call it? Aggressive. The thing is, I've not played much of the games.
Gresit.
Let me just do this. This. Text, come on.
Gresit.
This. This is the name of the town, damn it. I'm not gonna pronounce this goddamn name. Just see this picture and you will know. Alright? That's not my phone. That's the town's name and remember it. Please. Anyway, I don't care if I touch my eyebrows. Anyway, we continue. So, our main protagonist goes into the town and hears a lot of screams, and he heard basically that the demons have done their feasting for the day, and one of the demons is carrying a newborn child, or a baby in this case. And that baby, sorry for tapping in my eyes, but I'm like tired of even looking at myself sometimes. So, the baby basically does, yeah. The baby is dead, and the demon is like this, carrying the baby like this. I'm gonna show you with this thing, like this. Oh, damn it. Whatever. Yeah, but you know the point. The thing that I had in my mouth. He's carrying it like, oh! Did you not know I would eat your baby? And like, yeah, they're demons. They would do that.
Go on.
Secondly, the wife of the baby's mother, or the baby's mother, was like screaming, ah! And then a woman's husband was basically, how should I put this? Just think a meat grinder, except a demon's claws. Is that the best way to put it? Except, think about a meat grinder, except the demon's claws, ripping him to pieces. And this anime, I repeat, this anime is not for small children. I'm serious. Secondly, the townspeople need to take out a lot of guts. Literal guts. Which is funny because the character Guts is cool. But guts from the town ceilings and yada yada. So the main protagonist goes into the sewers and does a bit of parkour. Also, P.S. Belmont and Dracula himself and his helper. I think his helper... Yeah, one of the helpers that we will meet in this episode are all very beautifully colored made to represent the old... 2 seconds. To represent the old NES games from Castelvania. They have the same sprite colors. Pretty cool. Anyway, Belmont goes through through a sewer system, and he says, "Oh God, God forbid, they should have dumped their what should we say?"
He was walking around.
He was walking around basically where you dump your stinking stuff.
He seeks.
Yeah, he wants food. He was like, "I want food. What do I not do for food?"
And
What did he say about God? He said something like, "Oh, warn me not to basically avoid toxic waste." Basically. Or something like, "Oh, God forbid that I shouldn't be warned about toxic waste." Or something like that. Anyway, he went in and he picked up his knife and he's like, "I'm gonna do some Assassin's Creed stuff." And then he discovers that the guard is like this. And if I was Simon Belmont, okay, this is my opinion. I am like Simon Belmont here, or I am the guy here. I am thinking, I am the head guard of this castle, or this town, and I'm thinking, if I would know this, I would be like, "You're fired! No questions asked! You're fired, damn it!" Anyway, hope you enjoy, but I mean, the guard was sleeping like this. Of course I would fire him! Because anyone can get in!
and after foot.
And after that, on foot, he basically walked around in the city asking about, what was it?
Vampires?
Yeah, asking about the situation.
Oh.
He was basically doing like the video games. He was asking about situation from the townspeople, and the townspeople talked about a legend, a sleeping soldier that has saved Arkia many years ago. Hope you enjoy anyway. Yeah, they talked about it. And two people actually talked about also what did the first one talked about the legend, the smith, the blacksmith. The blacksmith kind of guy talked about the legend of the soldier, and the other chick, a blonde, we should just call her blonde market person. She talked about that. No, the Seekers, they are evil. They are the ones that could cause the problems for the sleeping soldier. That's why he has not saved us from the goddamn hellspawn that's coming out in the night trying to eat us all. For 20 seconds. Or, wait, how much hours is the night, basically?
8.
Basically for 8 hours trying to eat us. The demons, she says. She says the demons because of the Seekers blocking the hero, blah blah blah. But we will know soon that's false. And then we have another guy that basically says we need to follow the church, and the church knows what the right time is and what the course of action is. If you follow the rules and don't listen to the fools that you have listened before, you will be fine. And we will be all fine and dandy later. And the demons will leave us alone.
Later.
Also Belmont got a piece of meat to eat.
Later, he found 2 corrupt priests.
He found 2 particular. Hope you enjoy. He found 2 pretty unpriest-like people, to say the least. Like, I don't want to say what they said in this show, because that's like way rude. I'm serious, rude. And he found 2 priests, basically, and the 2 priests are trying to basically harass an old man just for doing magic witchcraft, magic, evil, dark magic. And he's like, just walk to the area, don't bother. And they're saying, do you know, old man? Do you know that your people should have gone through sun up? Or sundown up? Could you... Yeah, basically one of the priests with a staff, with a type of sword staff says, look at the sun, old man. That would be the last thing you see. And he tries to try to kill the poor bastard. And of course, our main protagonist, Alucard, not Alucard, Trevor whips the bastard like it was no one's business. I wonder which lessons he took. Did he take the lessons from Ivy, from Soul Calibur, or did he take the lessons from a freaking sniper, from a freaking Indiana Jones precision guy? I'm not even kidding. This guy is whipping like it's nobody's business. I'm not even kidding. The guy, he says himself like, oh, I'm a bit rusty doing the monster hunting. And I'm like, are you serious, mate? Are you serious? You whipped a guy off his finger. Here is his finger. Here is not his finger anymore. And it was before the priest would strike down the old man with the staff. And the staff like this. Bah! Tried to strike it down. It was like, whip! And the guy's like, oh, my finger, no! Ah! And then the other guy like, attack him! Kill him! And he's like, that's not kind of priest-like. The way you talk is not a kind of priest. He's like, I don't care. I'm not a priest. I'm an evil bad guy. That's what I think it was in his head. And then he said to his friend, what should we call his friend? His bald friend?
Oh, one eye?
What?
One eye.
Mr. One Eye Baldface. Mr. One Eye Baldface, basically like, oh yeah, attack him. Attack him with a dagger. He's like, you know that's not a weapon for a priest. That's a weapon for a dirty thief. And he's like, yeah, alright, I don't care, alright. He's saying, oh wait, I forgot. The main protagonist said, do you really want to be hurt, mate? Do you really want to, what did he say? Yeah, he said something like that. Do you really want to be hurt? Really? We can go the easy way or the hard way. Like he said, I'm warning you. Yeah, he said, I'm warning you. You don't want this. And then it like, I don't care. I'm going to attack you. Like, hey! Attack him. And Alucard like does this. Whip around his arm and it like whipping around his arm and like, and makes him fly like this. Makes him fly around to the next side of the corner of the room or next side of corner of the area.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to whip him so hard in the head like this. I'm gonna... Okay, how could I show you this? Oh, yes, perfect. Think this is his eye. Well, just imagine... Oh, wait. Perfect. Just imagine this as his eye. And he whips him so hard. He does this. He basically whips like this. And then he whips to the side of the other side of the houses. And he makes a whiplash so hard that his eye... Poof! His eye plops out like this. Yeah, I tried to do visually, but... You know the point, I don't want to hit myself in the head. But the thing is, he whipped him so hard that his eye went out of his eye socket.
Okay. Go on.
It went out of his eye socket, and seriously. Anyway, after that is taken care of. The old man and Alucard. The old man and Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do I remember the cooler names? Anyway, the old man and Trevor go to the Seeker Camps area, which is basically an old rundown house inside of the city. That's just a genius place to be. Anyway, all of them greet him and he says like about the history and about his grandfather or his father.
And Trevor
talking about the Seekers and blah blah blah.
Trevor did say to
No, let me remember what it was. Yeah, he talked about his father arguing with a Seeker and having a fight. And then one of the younger Seekers that we will call Aladdin, he says, no, Seekers don't fight. And I'm like thinking in my head, it's only my head, I think you didn't learn for Seeker schools of self-defense. I think he didn't learn from Seeker schools of self-defense.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is, they talk with the old man, and the old man says, I cannot leave town until you find my granddaughter, and such and such. And also, they talk about the history of the Belmonts a bit more, with that the main protagonist, Belmont. Mm-hmm. The main protagonist, Trevor Belmont, damn it, I need to remember the first part.
His family was excommunicated.
Discommunicated with the church. To be fair, basically all the equipment that Belmont has for the vampires is made, or it's like this. The church is like the weapon supplier to them, and he has been like this. No more weapons, nothing. Nada. Ingenting. No more weapons. They've been excommunicated, and they say that they're evil monsters, they're evildoers to the church and to the good people of the land, blah blah blah, yada yada. And our main protagonist thinks that's bullshit. Which I completely agree, because priests, the other priests in the show, were assholes. And the main protagonist, the main antagonist slash priest guy that we see in the show, that I call Judge Frodo, was it?
The bishop.
Yeah. The Red Bishop with Judge Frodo 2.0 was an asshole.
What happened after that?
After that, they talk about the Belmont story. Also, I forgot to mention, the Seekers have a... the Seeker has, what should we say, a speaking language, or history of speaking. And they keep everything inside of their head, which I think is kind of a good idea in a way. But then I think, seriously, the Belmonts are smarter. What do you think? The Belmonts are smarter. They're writing down. Though, to be fair, they say in their claims... In their claims, they say that the writed language, or the speaking language, is more alive. The speaked history is more alive than the dead paper. And I can say this. No, sir. No. It's... No, it's not exactly that, but you know the point. I understand it could be cool, to be fair. It's cool to remember everything in generation, in head. But the little problem that you can have when you have your brain is that your brain can actually make your memories like this. Okay, my hand is the brain paper. Yeah, I know, but my hand is the brain paper. And the brain paper slowly turns into gold, which would then mean that the memory becomes harder to memorize correctly how it was. Is that good? Mm-hmm. How it was. So I will go with the Belmonts in this point. Belmont, win. Speaker, not much. Though, to be fair, it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea, though. But then our main protagonist goes to try to find the main protagonist, try to find the old grandpa's daughter or granddaughter, because they don't her. If she is dead, they can bury her. Their tradition is to bury them as they can. As they can. And Mr. Belmont goes down to the catacombs and goes down inside of a church, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Wait, where is the end of the episode? Isn't it there, or where?
Where he saves her.
Yeah, alright, I forgot. Is this episode 2 or 3?
2.
Alright. Hope you enjoy anyway. But the thing is, he goes down the catacombs, he goes down a church, and then we see a knight statues, pretty cool knight statues. He goes down the catacombs, he finds her, but he also finds a freaking Cyclops that can freeze you to stone, into bits, basically. And he does some really cool action shit. Really cool ones. I have screenshots. But I'm serious, like, he's whipping his whip so hard that he basically threw his sword into the beast like this. And the beast is like, nah, I don't care. And he's trying to sap him with poisonous, or what is it, petrifying stone lasers. And he's like, oh, he said a quote also. He said, what in the hell have I gone into? He's like, what the hell have I gone into myself? He's like, oh my god, what the hell did I get myself into? And he's like, oh, run. And then he's like, yes, I have you now. Also, he discovers who they were. One of them were dead. Yeah, unfortunately, one of the Seekers died because the laser monster sapped the statue of the guy that was begging for help to death into smithereens pieces. And then he uses the statue of the old priestess granddaughter as a jumping trampoline with his legs. He jumps on her back and he's like, Choo! And then he's like, boom, rocked in with a sword in the eye. Like this. I'm gonna show you this one though. Like this. Choom! And the monster is dead. He's like, ah. And he died. And then afterwards, the fur maiden is falling down like, oh no, I'm falling. And then he's like, yeah, I grabbed you. And then she's like this. Uh-oh, I've been stoned, so I need to... And then she vomits. And then he says, I didn't know that the Seekers decided to dress up their... What was it? Their girls as boys? And she's like, that's easier to travel and less suspicious. Mm-hmm. And I'm like thinking, okay, that's a smart idea, but kind of like... I don't know how to say it. It's basically kind of weird, but it could make sense. It could make sense. It's the Middle Ages. It's not me. It's the Middle Ages, not me though. Though to be fair, it's kind of better to be safer to be a guy, because back in the day it was not a good idea. You know, you have... Okay, I'm not gonna say more. I'm not gonna say anymore, but he saves her, blah blah blah, they go back up, and he's like, yeah, if you wanna go further and like, yeah, try to find your supposed savior, do so. But I have a promise to your grandfather to get you back ASAP. Also, he said, you need to promise me to the grandfather, he said, leave this town if I found her now. If I find her. And then he leaves her there, and he says like, yeah, before she's like going, she says, I want to go. Sorry for touching my damn eyebrows again, but whatever. He says, fine, if you want to go die, you can die. Make me promise. You can die when you go back up there, talk with your grandfather, yeah? And they do so, and they hug, and they talk a lot. And they talk about, you need to do your destiny, Bellon. And he's like, screw you. I do what I want. And I want to eat, and they're like, yeah, do you want to see us die? Alright, whatever, but... Though, to be fair, the words of... what was the word the priest said that will echo again?
I don't remember.
There were words like... let me remember that again. The priest says, it's not of fear of death. It's not the fear of death. I'm just saying it fast. It's not the fear of death. It's the fear of not doing... the thing we need to do. The good thing we need to do. That was the thing that the priest said. And remember that line. Please just remember that line I said right now. Alright? Good. Alright. And the episode ends when he decides to go out inside. When does the episode end?
Yeah.
The freaking episodes are like a movie. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, the priests attack him. Oh wait, that's the third episode.
Yeah.
So the ends...
ellos esperaban el anochecer.
Oh, they will wait into the night. So when it becomes night, the episode ended.
Yeah.
So the episode ended, and one of the funny lines that I wanted to say before we end the episode, or before we end the review, was that Belmont is like, yeah, I didn't want it exactly to save you. And she's like saying, oh, no, I forgot. It was the original line. I forgot that one. He's like, I want beer! I want a goddamn sip of a beer or something. Yeah, he wants to drink beer. To be fair, he has tried to kill a Cyclops for one day.
Okay.
And then she says... to her grandfather, she says to her grandfather, what did she say? Yeah, I can just pee in a bucket, and we will see if that he will know it is beer. I will say to him it's a beer. And I'm like, whoa, that's rude. Though to be fair, she said, oh wait, actually that could be easy to trick someone with, but you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. But I'm serious, that was funny. We see you next time. Auf Wiedersehen. Which one is it? This one?
Yeah.